Assalamualaikum and very good days. So for the class today, I will continue for the last chapter, chapter 5. Yes. Woohoo! Okay, related regarding to the topic of the air and noise pollution. This topic just short topic. That we split to the two big component, big items. I.e. is the air pollution and noise pollution. Okay, so here is the we split to two, air pollution and noise pollution. Okay, so what is the air pollution? So have you known the air pollution? Anything, okay, anything that have the content of the smoke, okay, hanging over the city, okay, that we cause the bad impact to the our environment. Not only to the environment, but also to ours health. Okay, health. Okay, so in the general terms, any substance that the people introduce into the atmosphere that have the damaging effect to the living things and the environment is considered as the air pollution. That is the basic definition of the air pollution. So in this topic, we will know about the what is the air pollution, explain detail what the haze, composition of the air, list the atmosphere layer, measure air pollution and the source, define the primary and secondary pollution and give example, what's the API, list the pollution of the API for the calculation. Okay, this one for calculation tapi dalam topik ni calculation not appear not is a part of the question in the final exam. So no question about the calculation for the air pollution or noise pollution. No calculation. They just more to theoretical and the open-ended question. So what is standard guideline for the air pollution and explain the detail of the US National Ambient Air Quality, including the primary and secondary standard. Okay. So what is the air pollution perspective? They have the consist of the chemistry and the composition at the atmosphere. Okay, is all important. This is the important because the interaction between the atmosphere and living organism. So this is the atmosphere's composition typical in our nature. So we consist of the 78% of the nitrogen, 20% of the oxygen, argon and minor concentration. Okay, this is the atmosphere chemistry. Branch of the atmosphere science, chemistry of the Earth's atmosphere that or the other planet or its study. So multidisciplinary field of the research. This is the atmosphere layer. I thought this one you already know when you learn in the secondary school, so you know what is the layer of the atmosphere. So I proceed to next. Okay, this is the air pollution and the sources. So this is the basic atau typical parameter ataupun major air pollution in our atmosphere. So they have the consist of the nitrogen oxide. Okay, this is the produced by petrol or the diesel burning engine and coal or oil furnace. Okay, ozone, the produced by reaction of the oxygen gas with the free atom of the oxygen, which are formed from the reaction between nitrogen oxide and hydrocarbon in the sunlight. That's the oxygen lah. From the O2 dia jadi O3. Okay. So particulates, this is the basic not basic, this is the major ataupun common air pollution. Okay, in the our atmosphere. They produced by refuse incineration, factory, diesel vehicle, okay, construction site, coal and charcoal burners. Okay, particulate are solid or liquid particle which are so small that they remain suspended in the air for the long period of the time. So the next major parameter of the air pollution is the hydrocarbon from the evaporation of the materials such as petrol, diesel and the solvent when exposed to the air. Sulfur dioxide, okay, this one produced from the burning fossil fuel, okay, such as the fuel oil and the coal. Okay, large proportion is produced by power station and metal smelter which burns sulfur containing coal, and also by the manufacturing industry which is burn fuel oil. So in the Malaysia, if you know, the 70% of the electricity, okay, 30% of the electricity is produced by the coal power station. Okay, so that's, you know, 70% still rely on this power station. So you can imagine how much the sulfur dioxide will be released to our atmosphere. So the last one is the carbon monoxide, okay, CO, produced by incomplete burning of the carbon carbon containing fuels such as the petrol, coal and wood. So with the not complete the process of the burning, so they will be produced of the carbon monoxide. Okay, monoxide will be released to our atmosphere. Air pollution standard. Okay, this is the proportion. Okay, proportion for the percentage emission of the pollutant to atmosphere, where it's come from. So majority is there from the motor vehicle. So this one data for 2017 2017 from Department of Environment. So 17 is come from the vehicle. Okay, power plant 24. That's why I said power plant. So because we still rely 70% of the electricity based on the coal burning. Okay, for the power plant. Okay, industrial 2.9% and others is 2.5 to 2.1%. Okay, so how we can measure, how we can know whether our air is the good or not good. Okay, so in the certain that's the current situation when the rainy season. So what is the level of the our air? Okay, what is the condition, what is the standard, okay, for the our air. So to know, to measure, to monitor the our air, so that's why in the Malaysia we develop the air pollution index, API. Okay, air pollution index. So what is the API? So it's the indicator of the air quality. Okay, to indicate the easy understood manner the presence of the pollutant and its impact to the health. So we can measure that based on the index. So index, you know, index is the numbers are 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 and this at the certain number, so they can describe what is the level of the our air condition. Okay, so the API system nation follow the pollution standard index developed by US EPA. So the parameter that the compute or include in this API is ozone, O3, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide and particulate matter, PM10. So now in the 2019 I thought PM 2.5 pun dah include. So already include in this our API. Okay, so this is the 6 parameter. Okay, so this one dia dah include now they have include the PM 2.5. Okay, particulate matter 2.5. Okay, ozone previously we just have the 6 parameter, but now we include for the PM 2.5. So this is the calculation index for the API atau in the Malay IPU lah, in the English we call as the API. So the API, so how long we need to measure for that certain parameter. Okay, parameter of the air pollutant. So such as for the sulfur dioxide, so they use the average 1 hour. So what is the data for each 1 hour? Okay, so maybe they measure for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but they need to make the ranging or average in the term of the hour. Okay, per hours. So for the PTM10 we measure for 24 hours, average for 24 hours. PM 2.5 also same, 24 hours. Ozone we have the two type, either in the 8 hour or 1 hour. Okay, nitrogen dioxide 1 hour, monoxide dioxide is the 8 hours. Okay, this is the calculation how we can determination of the air pollution index. Okay, so we have the 6 parameter based on the average hours. So this is 2017 started to take account PM 2.5 as hours API. Okay. So this is the step how we can measure for the API. Firstly, we in the API they has the started the listed of the parameter that need required to calculate for the API. So they listed, and then they have the sub index. So they have the equation similar as the WKI, macam water quality index that you need to measure for the to determine the level of the surface water. Surface water. So similar but different of the parameter. Similar approach but different parameter. So the determine select the maximum index. So determine the maximum index, and lastly based on 6 parameter, finally we come out with the index. So air pollution index. This is the formula. So this one tak ada keluar lah. Not that the question not in the our final exam. So this just for your knowledge how we can determine for the API. So they have the concentration 9 ppm and 9 ppm, 1 ppm equal 1 milligram per liter. So this is basic typical unit. So if they're less than 9 ppm, so concentration, let's say the egg, they multiply dengan 11.111 and so on similar ni concentration ni depend on the based on the our average concentration. Okay, carbon monoxide, okay, ozone, okay, sama so you use this formula to determine the level, okay, the index, okay. And then this one for the PM 2.5, okay, 2.5. This one for the index for 2.5. So if the equation X PM25 between 0.25, so they guna this formula and so on This is the concentration concentration of PM 2.5. Okay, so this is the index. So between 0 to 50, good, okay, moderate, unhealthy, okay, very unhealthy. So this one hazardous so emergency so usually we can call for the emergency state okay, emergency state for the location that have the more than 500 API. Okay, so the condition, status, okay, health effect, okay, health advice okay. So let's say this one you can read okay, let's say for more than 100, so the status is the emergency emergency call for the darurat Okay, so as a tourist people, probably advise to follow order for and see Majlis Keselamatan Negara MKN, in the Malay MKN and always follow the announcement in the mass media. Okay, let's see So between 201 300, so the all people high risk are advised to stay indoor, reduce the physical activity, so they have the health advice and health effect So for the worsen to health condition, low tolerance of physical exercise, heart and lung complication. So for the people that have the heart and lung disease, so they need to avoid from the any outdoor activities. Okay, so this one dalam ni in our website you can find the recent condition of the API. Okay, dalam Malaysian, you type je Malaysian Air Pollution Index, nanti dia keluar the system, okay, conduct by DOE Okay, this is the recommendation Malaysia Air Quality Guideline, okay, recommendation Malaysia. There are no ambient quality standard in Malaysia. The Malaysian government, however, established the Ambient Air Quality Guideline 1998. So pollution addressed in the guideline, okay, yang such as in a part of the API, and then also we measure for the lead, okay, dust fall and total suspended particle. Okay, the averaging time varies from the 1 to 20 hours for the different air pollution. Okay, present period of the time measure the monitor report for the assessment of the human disease measure guideline for the ambient. Okay, so they have ada 1 or 8 hour depend average. Okay, so this is the level in the unit ppm. This one for the microgram per meter cube Okay, National Ambient Air Quality Standard. Okay, this one US okay, EPA from EPA. Okay, they have the primary standard and secondary standard They split to two. Okay, for the primary standard, provide public health protection, include the health of the sensitive population such as asthmatic, citizen and the elderly. So for the secondary standard, provide the public welfare protection, include the protection against visibility and damage to animal, crop, vegetation and building So primarily first thing related to the human, and the thing for the asset for the human selain daripada human. Okay, so if you have the set, okay, cell criteria pollution, there is carbon, lead. So in our API not include the lead not include the lead. Okay, sulfur. So the measure for the standard ppm, okay, ppb by volume or microgram per cubic meter of the air. Okay, so they have the two standard, primary standard and secondary standard. So you understand what is the meaning of the definition of the primary standard and secondary standard. Okay, so they have the list all the level, the standard level So cannot exceed lah. Cannot exceed. Okay, cannot exceed. Semua tak boleh lebih. Okay, this is the Malaysia standard Malaysia dengan United States comparison. Okay, so ni sama je, lebih kurang sama. So kita this one kita revise lah sikit je to get the average lah 40-30. So kita state as the 35 lah. So this one annual tak ada, kita tak ada, Malaysian tak ada, just for the 1 hours lah. Okay, so ozone, particulate matter and sulfur. Usually in Malaysia dia depend on the WHO lah. WHO dia kata daripada WHO. If WHO maybe dia ada plus minus lah, plus minus with the WHO standard. Okay, this is air pollution effect. Summary for the air pollution. Sulfur, nitrate, particulate matter, okay, carbon monoxide, lead, ozone and volatile organic compound. So this is the major source from industry. Okay, this one for vehicle industry, vehicle industry. Okay, from the burning, okay, reaction and vehicle industry. Commonly, majority the air pollution is come from the vehicle. Similar yang kita tengok sini. Similar dia trend. Similar in the data in the 2000. So vehicle 70.4%. Okay. So this is the health effect. Okay, respiratory, cardiovascular illness. Okay, ni sama lah, dunia effect sama. So this one for the environment. So you should know lah. You should know this one important lah. You kena tahu lah. So kalau sulfate ni apa kesan dia? What is the effect to the hawa? Okay, apa effect? Nitrate apa effect? Okay, so you kena baca yang fahamkan lah. Ni semua is important lah, particular. Jangan nanti kalau soalan keluar you main hentam aja. So dia adalah health effect dan environment effect dia berbeza. Mungkin ada yang sama, this one the same effect, but for the environment they different lah. Okay, so nitrate ni can be eutrophication. Okay, leading to over nitrogen deposition. Okay, PM lung selalulah PM lung, blood stream boleh masuk blood stream. For the environment effect for visibility lah. Okay, so lead, okay, accumulate. So you should know lah what is the health and environment effect. Okay, so this is the air pollution control. Okay, commonly used method for the air pollution control. So particulate selalunya. So dia tak boleh, you cannot be all this thing kena boleh guna. Contoh macam nitrate, contoh nitric oxide, okay, NOx ataupun sulfate. So what is the method that can be used to counter this problem? Okay, this one just only particulate. You can use this cyclone, specific fabric filter or wet scrub. For the gases dia guna adsorption ataupun absorption. So you tahu apa maksud beza antara add dengan ab. Okay, kalau ab ni the condition dia macam sponge. Okay, SpongeBob. Okay, macam SpongeBob. So dia serap, so dia absorb. Okay, kalau adsorption on the pore, dia akan attach on the pore. Let's say you have some particle. Okay, so this one you dah besarkan lah. So dia ada pore sini kan. So let's say gases, so nitrate so this one nitrate. So bila dia onto this material, adsorbent material, so dia akan attach on the surface. Okay, on the surface. Mana yang pore ke apa, dia attach on the surface. For the adsorption, contoh you have the material here, so dia akan absorb through all the material. But for the adsorption, they attach on the surface and go to into the porous. Okay, so ataupun direct combustion. So PM, particulate matter control. So the sources industrial from the iron, steel mills, blast furnace ni semua kita dah discuss tadi kat awal tadi soal personal. But this one the detail about the industrial. For the industrial, what the type of industrial that the release ataupun emission of the PM, particulate matter. So type of the industry such as the iron, metal mills, okay, petrol, refineries, cement, okay, popular industry, asphalt, bleaching for the road production of sulfuric acid, okay, production of phosphoric acid, okay, soap and synthetic detergent manufacturing, gas and glass fiber industry, okay, instant coffee plant pun they have the because this one when grinding, they grinding the coffee, so they can release the particulate matter. Okay, So general method for the control of the contamination, 5 basic type of the dust collector. So they're using the gravity and momentum collector, centrifugal collector, okay, fabric filter such as a baghouse ni, cyclone settling conveyor. So they can using the electrostatic precipitator, okay, high temperature, high pressure for the particle. So they be given the high pressure, so they can settle down, okay, when they given the high temperature, high pressure, okay, they can burning and settle down the particulate particle. Okay, this is the settling chamber. Okay, the T gas. Okay, this one clean out. So the dust hoppers ni question force gravity. Okay, dia by gravity dia masuk sini pusing. So yang berat akan tunggu lah, akan settle down lah. Tapi kalau yang halus-halus dia akan lepas jugalah. Okay. Install the ductwork, sterling chamber, force gravity, remove the solid particle, the gas stream enter the chamber where the velocity gas is reduced. Okay, nampak Jadi konsep ni macam you buat sedimentation punya tank, sedimentation in the water treatment kan. So they have the length dia ada length panjang, so particle akan turun. Memang sama lah, when the flow ni dia reducekan flow, so yang berat akan turun lah. Mana yang ringan dia akan for the dense particle dia akan release, for the light particle dia akan go out. Okay, simple design can be measured from the almost any material. Okay, they are seldom use primary dust collector, jarang guna because low efficiency settling chamber efficiency remove only the large particle. Saya explain tadi large particle. Okay, the conjunction with the more efficient control device. So dia kena ada satu lagi lah device yang lain untuk jika if you want to using the settling chamber for net, but we need to have the others. Okay, need to add the others efficient control device. Okay, this one cyclone. Speed rotation air flow. So flow dia akan masuk. Okay, flow akan masuk dia akan pusing. Cyclone macam cyclone apa ni, angin cyclone lah, apa, pusaran angin pusaran angin. Okay, pusaran angin dah masuk, so yang kotor dia akan masuk bawah, yang apa ni, yang bersih akan ke atas. Okay, sama konsep, denser akan falling down. Okay, and the light particle will be go out lah. Okay, can use for the dry dust, okay, but not suitable for sticky material or gases, small particle. Okay, this is the disadvantage lah for using the cyclone. So last case saya lah use this sawmill, okay, kilang kayu lah, papan. Okay, also using the oil refinery to separate oil and the gases, and also in the cement industry. Okay, component for the clean preheaters. Okay, you can use, however, for the clean gas at a high temperature tu, dia nak bersihkan balik nak bersihkan temperature. Cleaning gas at a high temperature up to 1200 degrees Celsius. Okay, this one baghouse. Dirty airflow into the a number of the closed filter bags that are placed in the parallel. Okay, parallel. The filter remove the particle from gas stream when the clean pass through the closed and exhausted to the atmosphere. Okay, the fabric filter do some filtering of the dust particle. However, their more important role to act to support the layer. Okay, angin masuk sini lah. Angin masuk, so macam dalam kipas angin kita lah, ataupun filter kita kat rumah kan, kalau kita ada air filter kan, dia punya konsep similar as the baghouse, but the material here they use this one using baghouse. Okay, dengan bag masuk lah, yang sini dia ada hole porifate, small porifate. Okay, so udara masuk, so yang dust akan terperangkap dalam bag. Tapi yang dalam kita punya, dia have the filter. Dalam kita punya home filter, dia ada home filter macam ni. Tapi this one using the bag. So angin okay, air akan enter in this bag and go out lah. So yang particle semua akan trap here. Okay, so used for the fossil power plant, fertilizer, steaming, food processing, house waste, incinerator, cement. So majority of the activity can use the baghouse lah. Okay, for the gas control, tadi particulate PM, either the PM10 or PM20 lah. So this one, all this about the PM, particulate matter, either 10 or 2.5 lah. So they depend on the material lah. Kalau this one less than 2.5, so udara akan particulate matter size less than 2.5 cannot be, more than 25 can be trapped in this bag. That's also depend on the material. Okay, this one for the gas control. Okay, so this one such as for the sodium oxide ataupun sulfuric hydrosulfuric, okay, solvent, gaseous pollution dissolve from this activity lah. Okay, so the gas stream passes to the liquid absorb the gas is much same way that the sugar is absorb the gas. Okay, this is the concept dia lah, concept dia. So absorber refer to the scrubber and they have the various type of the absorption lah. Okay, the principle of the gas absorption equipment includes spray towers, packet columns, spray chambers and the venturi chambers. So this one equipment ni lah, spray towers, packet. So for the gases, so you can remove using this equipment. Okay, absorber can achieve removal efficiency greater than 65%. One of the potential for the absorption is waste water, which convert an air pollution problem to water pollution problem. Okay, because they absorb. Okay, this one spray tower kan, using air, water, using water spray chamber ke. So you using the water. Okay, this one sweat scrubber, wet scrubber. Okay, wet scrubber. So wet scrubber. So wet dia akan release the water. This one di venturi, masuk venturi and then keluar. Okay, this the diagram schematic diagram. This one gas clean sama juga chamber dia. Okay, this chamber wet and we spray, dia ada spray air masuk. So yang gas tu, okay, gas yang bersih tu akan keluar lah. Dia akan wet scrubbing skin. Okay, this next step, next process atau next mechanism. This mechanism this kita kata this one mechanism lah, mechanism apa yang we can use to control the gas. So absorption lah. So the equipment ni, so the peralatan dia ni here. Okay, this is the peralatan. So this one mechanism. So mechanism yang satu lagi about the absorption. So we can using the absorption mechanism to remove the gases. Okay, when the gas or vapor into the contact with solid, part of the take out the solid, then molecule display from the gas into the solid. This one I explained tadi lah. So for the gases, so they have the material. So material they have the pore, they ada pore. Sini they have pore. So the gases will be attached on the surface or into the pores of the material. So this one we call as the absorption. So common using the activity carbon, silica, gel, aluminium, and for this one the punya material lah. Material, this one mechanism, this one material. What is the material that you can use to remove that the gases? Okay, activity carbon standard. Okay, activity carbon ni common lah, common typical material that you use to remove the gases, to remove the gases from the air pollution. Okay, so carbon absorption are either regenerative or non-regenerative. So regenerative that means we can use again the activated carbon after we do for the regeneration process. Okay, bila dia dah full up sini kan, dia dah penuh, saturated with the gases, so we can conduct atau do for the regeneration process to release back. Okay, buang balik sini, tapi dia akan jadi macam air ke apa kan, so ada water pula lah, water pollution ni. And then this material, okay, this material we can use again. Okay, for non-regeneration system, that means when they dah saturated, so kita akan buang lah, ganti baru. Okay, that's the mean of the non-regenerative system. So antara activity carbon ataupun zeolite lah. Activity carbon or zeolite. Okay, this is the absorption carbon. Okay, to remove the CO2 So the absorb nampak yang the grey is the material, so dia akan absorb on the surface, absorb on the surface. Okay, ni this one dia remove other gas. Okay, so dia bersihkan balik lah. Okay, this one dia bersih, regeneration lah. This one we call as the regeneration. So ni masuk keluar, masuk sini dia tolak balik. This one regeneration process. So dia cleankan balik, clean all the adsorbent. Okay, and then you can use again, can gunakan balik lah semula, reuse again. Okay, so the last technique can be used is the direct combustion. Okay, the combustion device with the air and all the combustion waste gas react at the burner. So dia masukkan satu burner, so we can burn all this air ataupun PM ke particulate matter, so they can release lah. Okay, a flare can be used to control almost any emission stream containing volatile organic compound. Study conducted by EPA show that the destruction efficiency of the flare is about 98%. Okay, in the thermal installation, the combustion waste gases pass over around a burner flame into the resident chamber, where the oxidation of the waste gas is complete. Thermal installation can destroy gas deposition efficiency greater than 99% when operate correctly. Okay, so yang paling senang using the direct combustion lah. Direct combustion bukan senang lah, yang paling efficient lah, yang paling efficiency. But the operator apa tu, they have the costing they have the high cost for the operating and so on. Okay, this is the flare, the gas flare lah. Selalunya kat all refinery they have this one, gas flare. Okay, this one the gas incineration. Okay, so saya stop until here. So for the next week we can continue for the part of that chapter 5 we complete or we finish it. Okay, so the notes I already upload in the author, so you can find the note in the author. Okay, thank you all.